What's up, YouTube? It's Victor from Trading Stoically. Today we're really going to talk about my plan for my funded account. I didn't really get a trading setup. Um, if we look at the chart for tonight, we did form this real nice zone, but we took off and we never came back. So I don't think I'm going to be trading tonight. If a trade does end up setting up, then that's great. But as of right now, I don't think I'll be taking anything tonight, which is fine, right? So, first day on the funded account, as you can see here, this is my practice account right now. In fact, let me just come here so you can see that's the Express funded account. Pretty cool feeling, pretty good feeling here. I still will be copy trading all of these other accounts too at the same time. So that way we can maximize our earning potential, right? So basically, my plan for this funded account is to take it a little bit more conservative. During the combine stage, I was risking about, um, let me just do 30 minutes here. I was risking about $800, anywhere from 600 to $800 per trade, and trying to see what kind of profit I would get. Sometimes the risk would be less depending on how the trade would go. Sometimes it would be more. Um, but for the most part, Um, the trades were about anywhere from like $600 to $800 risk, depending on where I was in the combine. Obviously, as I got closer to passing, then my risk tolerance decreased quite a bit to where I made sure that I was protecting my capital and making sure that I would pass. But for the funded stage now, I want to kind of decrease that. So if you go into my settings here, my risk right now, I put on 400 to profit 600 again. This is very dynamic, right? It's not anything um that will be set in stone, that will be static, that won't change. Like this will definitely change for sure. But I'd rather just be conservative, right? And risk only $400 for each trade that I put on the funded, right? This gives me about probably like four or five trades, really more like four and a half because of you have commission, but really about four to five trades. In reality, four to five losses that I can take before the funded is blown, right? And so far, I've been doing extremely well. If we go on to my top step here, if we look and take a look at my stats, I think we did take a look at stats last time, but if we take a look at stats from the last funded account that we passed, we did pretty well. My winning days, 86% winning days. It took 7 trading days. Started on April 9th, ended today, which is April 21st, but really we passed last night and just didn't process until today. So really, 86% win rate, right? For winning days. We have to be confident in ourselves and confident in what we can do that we can actually do this, right? The last time that I had a funded account, in fact, I'm pretty sure we can look at it here, right? Last time that we had a funded account, it just did not go well for me. It was going well in the beginning, initially, right? My high was $1,582, but it was blown, right? I ended up losing all of that and then some to blow the account. We started off pretty strong, right? $200 gain or $700 gain. I don't remember honestly, but here, let me go all time. So yeah, a $500 gain. We lost a little bit, gained more. We were doing good, and then we lost quite a bit. Came back, brought it back up. This was our high right here, and then we just dropped off a cliff, right? And I tilted, and I basically threw the account away, right? At that time, I wasn't really ready. I wasn't really ready to trade a funded account. I didn't have the mindset to trade a funded account. But now coming into this one, I definitely believe that I do have the mindset, right? So part of the mindset was looking at today's trade and not FOMOing. It's not my strategy anyway, right? So the FOMO would have been, oh my gosh, I see this huge green candle. I just want to enter. That's what I used to do, right? But now I'm like, this isn't even my setup, right? Like it would have been. If we had burst through a little bit, come back down, retested this high volume node zone, and then continue to head higher, and it would have been a great trade, A plus setup, right? But it didn't happen like that. So that's how I've grown and matured as a trader, right? Is being patient, making sure we take our setups, making sure that they occur, that we take them when they occur, and that we have a good process, right? So um that's what we have to do. That's how we have to get better is making sure that we're obsessed with the process, that we stick with the process, and that we continue to do what we have to do. So coming into today though, the whole day, I have Mondays off. I was nervous. I was pretty nervous, I'm not gonna lie. Like I was like extremely nervous because now it's like, okay, like we're legit five good days away from being eligible from our first payout. Now, just because I'm eligible for a first payout, like I get five $200 winning days, doesn't mean that I'm gonna take the payout immediately. I want to make sure that I build the account up, right? And I believe that I have the skill set in order to be able to do so. I want to build the account up. I want to get back to um, bringing the account to over $3,000 at the minimum, right? So passing the other combines I'm having being copy traded, but also to getting to a point where we build a good buffer, right? $3,000 buffer, like that's pretty, I would say that's pretty substantial, you know? So, but in reality, I want $4,000 on this funded account. Get to $4,000. We take our first ever payout of 2K. We pay the activation fees for the other accounts, which will probably be done before we get our first payout. That's fine. And then we build every other account up to 4K again. And then once we do that, we take another payout, right? Another $2,000 payout. That'll be 10K. So that is the goal. That's going to take some time. I know it's going to take some time. I'm not here to rush it, right? Like, yeah, I want to get paid. I need to get paid. Um, but we're not here to rush it. We're here to focus on the process. And I think that's the thing that's really transformed my trading is really just being obsessed with taking the right trades, right? One thing that I've learned is that if I take a trade that doesn't fit what I'm my plan or what I'm supposed to do, I'm gonna be stressing, right? I already stress over good trades. Like last night's trade, it was like B plus trade yesterday. Well, I was stressing. It was still a quality trade. It was a quality setup. I was still stressing. So I already stressed. Why would I want to take a trade that's not a good trade, right? Because then I'm going to be stressing even more. And if I lose, I'll be upset at myself, right? I'd rather lose focusing on a good process, focusing on the right process, and focusing on taking quality setups. If I lose like that, then I can't get upset, just charge it to the game, just say, hey, it is what it is, like I lost. So that's basically my plan for this funded account. I really want to get that first payout under my belt. And I really want to get the second payout for sure under my belt because even though now I'm here and I'm confident that I can pass evals now, and I can get funded accounts now, um, there's still doubt. I still feel like I might not be able to do it. I still feel like, what if it doesn't work out? What if my strategy's not good enough? But I am good enough and my strategy is good enough and the process is great. That's how we're here. That's why I only took 7 trading days to get to this funded account. My last funded account took me about like 3 months, about 2 months, so I have to be able to say that this is it. Like, this is the time that I finally become a profitable trader. As long as I stick to the process, stick to my rules, right? I understand my emotions, right? I accept my emotions and I act on them appropriately. And then that's all I can do. In Stoicism, we always talk about what you can control, right? I don't control the candlesticks going up. I don't control whether this comes back or not. I control the time I decide to enter, the time I decide to exit, and what trades I take, right? So if I stick to that process, if I say, hey, I am taking these trades and I'm taking them how I want to take them, and I'm taking good setups, great setups, and that's all I can do, right? So that is the plan. Hopefully, a month from now, I can look back and see that we do well, right? And see that we got our first payout for sure. And maybe a month from now, we can look back and see that we got our second payout. I mean, that's like, to me, that's like life changing, getting a 10K payout from trading, especially a guy like me where I've been inconsistent for the last, 4 or 5 years trading, not really, you know, having a good process, not really trading that well. To have a 10K payout hit your bank account, I mean, that's just insane. So, really hoping to do that. But again, we focus on the process, we focus on taking good trades, and the rest will sort itself out. But yeah, that's about it. I think the last thing I wanted to say is that if you're trading and you're starting to become profitable, you have to believe in yourself, right? You have to believe that your process is good. You have to believe that you're doing the right thing, and that your trading will go well for you, and you're going to be able to compound whatever you're making right now. I've heard so many times from people on YouTube talking about that once you start getting profitable, it compounds and it starts getting easier, and the money just starts coming in. And to me, I'm like, I'm kind of waiting to see that. I want that to happen. Um, I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will happen. Um, but it will happen, and that's the thing that you have to believe is that it will happen for you and it will come for you. And I think my time's right around the corner. So, um, anyway, YouTube, that's about it for today. I hope you guys have been trading well so far this week. I hope to be able to have a setup tomorrow and get the first trade under the funded account under my belt so I'm not so nervous anymore. And then we'll just go from there. So, yeah, guys, have a good trading week and keep trading stoically.